Hello, how you doing? Hope you guys doing well. Welcome back to another video on the channel, and let's get stuck into simulating the World Cup 2022 in Qatar 100 times. I do enjoy doing these videos, as I always think that if I was like a fan of like a smaller nation that may not have that much hope, like a Saudi Arabia or like even like a Poland, like I would love these kind of videos because it gives me some sort of hope. By the way, before we begin, I do want to say thank you very much to the sponsor of today's video, which is CoinGate. CoinGate is a website where you guys can use your cryptocurrency, as I do know that quite a lot of you guys do. CoinGate is a website where you guys can use your cryptocurrency to purchase gift cards. It's got over 1,500 different stores that you guys can use. Starbucks, Uber Eats, Just Eat, all the eats. Of those 1,500 brands, they're across 70 countries all across the world, so wherever you are, don't you worry. And it's incredibly simple as well. 30 seconds, you're in and you're out, instant delivery in your email. Available with the main 15 cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin. If you got Dogecoin, best example is when you go buy a game online. If it's on Steam or Xbox, you can use the gift card here and save yourself some money to then use that gift card to go and buy the game that you want. Of course, in the background, you can see the website, and it's pretty simple to use. It's also very nicely designed as well. So the link is down below at the top of the description. Go and check out coingate.com. And of course, when you do purchase, and use code Vizeh at checkout to get yourself a discount as well. And thank you, CoinGate, for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so let's get stuck into the World Cup. Tell me down below in the comments, who do you think the dark horse is? Does the dark horse, like, who you're like quietly cheering on? Like, may not even be your own main nation. A country that you want to see do well for whatever reason. Tell me down below. And of course, if you're new here, we are getting on the way to 300,000 subscribers. It feels good to say that. If you guys are new here, then please feel free and subscribe. It will go a long way, and let's also try and hit 2,000 likes as well. Thank you for the love and the recent video, which is the power of football nostalgia. I loved making that video. I think it's one of my best ever videos. Let's get to the actual simulation. Yeah, so of course we are doing this with Football Manager. Of course, this is the best way that I can do a simulation of the World Cup, because you can't do it on FIFA because they don't really have the right teams, and even if you get a modded version of it, and it typically is still incorrect because they have like very old players or like old stats of players. It's not really updated much, but on FM it's a lot more in-depth. There's a lot more stats and a lot more thought behind the process of simulating games, and with this you get yourself a lot of variety when simulating. It's not just the same 8 teams that you always see. So I did a video last week of me simulating the World Cup, and it was just one-time thing, and England won it. Yeah, that's me being surprised. For some reason on FM, they are quite OP. So let's go and do a simulation right now, and let's see how it does. So for the first sim, to show you an example of what we're doing here, let's go and simulate to the end of the group stage, and then we go through where each team is at. So of course, this does take quite a while. This is something like 3 days to do. Yeah, like 3 days. It took me a lot longer than it should have really to get this done. I like to think that my PC is quite decent. Apparently not. Apparently it's not that decent. What? It's very depressing actually, because this cost me a lot of fucking money. I do play quite a lot of FM, so maybe me playing like multiple year-long saves in depth, all leagues, you know, downloading an FM. Maybe it's now really coming, you know, to use here, because it is dying. Okay, here we go. So we are at the end of the group stage here. So we got Qatar topping the group in Group A. Are you mad? Yeah, for some reason, Qatar is, like, really loved. Like, really loved. Holland, they came last, which is weird, because in some saves, they're quite good. Sometimes they could go on to win the entire thing. Their net save, they can't even get a single win against Qatar, Senegal, and Ecuador. It's so weird. England topping group with USA, Argentina, Mexico, France, Denmark, Spain, Germany, Croatia, Canada! Making it through. Let's go, lads. Brazil, Switzerland, and South Korea, and Portugal. So, yeah, this looks weird, because the fact that Belgium only got 1 point is just mad to me. So there you go. That's round of 16. And let's see the quarterfinals. Come on, Canada. Come on. Come on. I know you want to. I know you want to. Here we go. Oh, boom. Tree. Oh, God damn it, man. Canada went to extra time against Spain, you know. Fair play to them. Mexico knocked out France. USA knocking at Qatar. That'd be an interesting game. So we've got England v Mexico, Switzerland v Germany, USA v Argentina, Portugal, Spain. So maybe I can see one upset here. I can see like a USA beating Argentina. I can see that happen, because it just it's FM. So, okay, sometimes these things happen, man. No way. Wow. The US has knocked out Argentina on penalties. I've done most of the sims already, right? USA doesn't make it that far, like in many of them. And they're in the semis. Christ. So we have England beat Germany and USA beat Spain. Please, please, please make it US-England final. Please. You've got to do this to me, man. No! No! USA lost on penalties? On penalties. Oh, that is upsetting, man. So there you have it. England 3, Germany 0. And then it's an England v Spain final, which you may find out quite soon is quite a common occurrence, I think. Oh my god, it's Spain. Oh no. Oh no, man. Harry Kane and Reina with the golden boot. What was the final like? It was 2-1 Spain. It was in 90 minutes. And it was goals of Oyarzabal and Gerard Moreno with a penalty of course, it's a penalty for Harry Kane. Of course it's a penalty to Harry Kane. So that is one simulation. Let's get into our 100 simulation. So what you see right now is my entire Google document just listing all of the results from winner, runner-up, and a semi-finalist each time. I was going to do also top goal scorer and also the best player tournament, but like honestly I did the first like 20 and then it just got really annoying. Like I was just wasting so much time. So just to help you guys out, from the 100 the main ones were Lukaku, Harry Kane, Vlahovic was actually quite a common occurrence. They may not have even made it into quarterfinals. They may have only played like 4 games, and Vlahovic was like still like top goal scorer with like 5 goals or something. It was still quite weird. Messi was very rarely scoring goals because I think he plays a right mid. Ronaldo popped up 3 times, I think. Not much for Ronaldo. Gerard Moreno was very, very common. I don't know why, but in FM the game really likes him. And then of course there's like Mbappe and Benzema as well. They cannot always took turns. So that's just kind of like the general consensus of who popped up the most for top goal scorers. So going down to the list here, you can see there's a variety of teams here, but you still kind of see the same constant of teams. Right now I'm gonna go and just put on some screenshots that I got. I didn't screenshot absolutely everything, but when I saw something that I thought was kind of like funky, I took a screenshot just to prove that I did actually simulate it. But I hope there's enough proof here so that you know that I did go for the effort of this. So there you go. So scrolling down here, in the first one I had Qatar in the semi-final. This is my first sim. It's right here. You can see right here I had Qatar in the semi-finals, by the way. And of course, Spain v England, who we just saw right then as well. But yeah, Qatar was in the semi-finals. For some reason, Qatar was pretty good. I don't know if it's a home advantage. I don't know. But very, very often they top their group. So you can scroll down what teams we have here and what teams are popping up. So you see South Korea is in here. So the likes of Serbia in semi-finals, Switzerland semi-finals. And you see quite a lot of, the France and England and Germany's and Holland's and Brazil's and Spain. Spain was actually very OP, much more than I thought they would be. They were here quite a lot more often than I thought they would be. Belgium as well. Belgium, kind of a funny story with Belgium. They spent 22 times in the semi-finals being knocked out in semis. 22 times they were knocked out in semis, and they only ever won it 3 times. So I think out of all the teams possible, the only teams that didn't make it through to at least the semis at least once was Saudi Arabia, Costa Rica, that did not make it through to the semi-finals at least once out of 100 sims. The rest, everyone at least made it through there at least once. Actually, pretty much twice. The only team that made it in just once is Japan. Japan just really struggled to ever get out of their group. Like, it was just, I mean, they're in the same group as Spain and Germany, right? So the possibility of them even making it out is so rare. Never mind making it through to the semis. Just one time, they just went nuts. But to be fair, just that alone, just getting out of a group of Spain and Germany is very, very impressive. So teams that made it through to the semis twice at least is Morocco, Tunisia, Cameroon, Peru, Ecuador, Denmark, Ghana, and those are the teams with 2. So this is for who got knocked out. Now, this is a weird thing with Denmark here. They indeed got knocked out in semis twice. However, they actually made it to a World Cup final 8 different times. I can't really explain it really. Then into the next team, so we got Canada make it into the semis and being knocked out 3 times. But Wales, USA, Iran did really well for themselves, because of the group that they're in. It's quite likely that, if they get a good little bit of form, they can make it out of the group, and you never know what may happen. So I walk away up here. So we got Portugal 6 times. Poland 6 times, Senegal 5 times, Uruguay 6 times, South Korea 6 times, Holland 6 times, Serbia 7 times, and this is the mad one, Qatar 8 times. There's some host advantage here in this game. There's a mad host advantage. They should not be in the semi-final 8 times, and they couldn't get past this stage once, to be fair, but even still, that is still nuts. Mexico 8 times, France 9 times, and then into double digits, Croatia 10 times, Argentina, Spain, and Germany all joint on 11. Brazil, 3rd place with 14, England, 2nd place with 16, and Belgium, top of the semi-finals with 22, which is a large chunk of that, to be fair. Who made it to the final the most, right? So, with 2, which is quite a lot of teams here, we got USA, Tunisia, Mexico, Switzerland, Brazil, and Belgium, all 1-2. I can't believe that USA, Tunisia, I don't know why, but they just go. They just do their own thing. I can't really believe it, really. But they made it to the final, 2 times, which is fair play to them. Like, Switzerland and Mexico doing well for themselves, as well as USA, actually, I must say. On the next rank, we've got Croatia with 4 runners-up. We've got Argentina and England joint with 6 runners-up. And now here comes... This is when it gets very weird. We've got a lot of teams in 3rd and 2nd. We've got in 3rd place, got 3 teams. Got Germany, Uruguay, and Denmark with 8 runners-up each. And then 3 in the 2nd place, which is Holland, Portugal, and France. They are all on 10 runners-up each. And then in the runners-up spot, the most is Spain with 22. So out of the 100 teams, they was runners-up 22 individual times. And they were usually in the semis, and they were usually in, winning the entire thing. Spain was OP. And let's go into who has won it the most out of the 100 teams. So, prepare yourselves here. So, winning it once is the 2 nations of Poland, Polska Gołom, and Switzerland. So, Poland only ever made it into the final only once, and they won it. So, that's the only one time they made it that far, and they took their chance when they had it. Switzerland made it to 3 finals, won 1 and lost 2. And up next is Croatia with 2 wins, so they were in the final quite a few amount of times, but just could never get over the line. After 6 appearances, won twice and lost 4. And then after that is when it gets quite funny, is Belgium. Again, as I said earlier, Belgium, they 22 times knocked out in semi-finals, but were only in the final 5 times, and then won it only 3 times. So they were always doing quite well, but just very just commonly just could not get past that next hurdle. It was really quite funny to see. Winning the World Cup 4 times each, there's probably a surprise one here, I don't know, but we got Portugal, not a surprise. The surprise is Mexico with 4 wins. So Mexico was in the final 6 times out of 100, and they won it 4 out of the 6. And Portugal in the final 14 times, and then won 4 times and lost 10 times, which I think that sounds about right to me, I think. Winning it 6 times is Holland, and winning it 7 times is Argentina. So Holland in the final, a grand total of 16 times, winning it 6 out of 16, and Argentina in the final 13 times, and they won it more times than they lost the final. So, we'll take that as a bit of a W. And then Germany, 9 times they won the World Cup, so they did quite well very often. They were in the final very commonly 17 times, so out of 100, that's quite a lot. 3rd place is going to be, Brazil. Brazil with 11 wins. So they were in the final a grand total 13 times, and they won it 11. Which is weird. Every time they could make it to a final, they usually had the personality, they usually had the dedication, the confidence, just the composure to actually go on and win it. So Brazil, they weren't in the final too many times to win 11. However, when they were in there, they usually took advantage. So fair play to Brazil. And now, 2nd place here. Drum roll, please. Spain, because that means that there's 2 teams joint on 1st. So with 12 wins is Spain of the World Cup. They also was runners-up 22 times. So out of the winners, runners-up, and semis, Spain were at least in the semis half of the time. So with 11 plus also 12, so that's 23. And then you also got the 22 losses in the runners-up. So add that together. That is 45 times that they were at least in the semis or further, which is almost half, which is quite insane. And then the winners joined. I think you already know who they are, but I gotta say them. It is with 19 wins each. It is France and England. You're not surprised by this. You probably thought that England were going to win because they are quite OP in FM. But yeah, England, 19 wins. France, 19 wins. France were in the final a grand total of 29 times. And England was in the final a grand total of 25 times. That means that out of the 100 sims, that 38% of the time, either France or England went on to win it. And there you go. That's my simulation. Now, of course, I must say this isn't spot on. Like, I guarantee if I did this all over again, maybe some newer teams, maybe a Senegal could go on to win a final. Maybe a Denmark could go on to win it. I'm sure that's possible. Maybe a USA could go on to win the entire thing. But this is just what I got out of my simulations. Tell me who you think your dark horse is for the World Cup. And of course, if you're new here, feel free and subscribe to the channel. And of course, shout out to the boys over at CoinGate for sponsoring today's video. It does mean a lot. Of course, the link is down below at the top of the description for you guys to go and check them out. And that's the end of the video. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.